Looky you. Glad to see you. Can't tell you how much your help was. It is appreciated. Well, things might have worked themselves out in time, but who has time these days? And you sure saved me the hassle. You're a Technomancer?
I am. Technomancer.
I'm lucky, in name and in life. You Mancers all stick together. Know each other real well, don't you?
Know each other, maybe, but we're scattered between here and the front.
Right. The front. Of course, the front. So, I take it you know where I can find I believe his name is Master Connor?
He's still in town, away from the front, training recruits.
Lucky again. Just what I wanted to hear. Think you might be up to do me a favor?
Either way, I'm here. Tell me what you need.
Simple. To meet Master Connor and relay some information. With your help, of course. Without your help, well, being just a simple merchant, unwelcome outside the exchange, I suppose it'd be a bit harder. If not, impossible. You know as well as I do, a common merchant can't just stroll up to the likes of a master. So, you get me in front of him, and I'll owe you one. How about that?
I'll see what I can do.
And I'll be much obliged.
Is it really you, Andrew? Can it really be?
I hate to disappoint, Master Connor, but I don't die easy. And I have a little too much pride to just let myself be tossed out with the trash. We got some explaining to do.
We did not toss you out with the trash. We just did not know how to help you. Your talents were uncontrollable. So we sent you away, hoping you would forget and move on.
Hoping I'd forget? When? As 10 years of my life wasted away at the hands of a merchant? I want my goddamn life back, asshole.
I'm so sorry. I don't know how I could make it up to you.
I don't know. But you can be damn sure I'll think of something. Get out.
Andrew, I cannot tell you how remarkable to see you. Simply remarkable. Pardon me, Zachariah. You cannot know how unexpected this was. Thank you. I must now return to the source.
I'm a little bugged I had to listen to that conversation. I don't even know what the hell they were talking about. It was that kid Andrew they were going on about?
I was wondering the same thing. Name's familiar, but I don't know.
Nisha, I'm so glad to see you. We were starting to get worried about you. The news from Ophir sounded a little chaotic. You look healthy.
Worried? About me? Give me some credit. Let me introduce you to Technomancer. He's the reason why I'm here.
Look at that. The Technomancer who saved us from the Vori. Interesting. Very interesting. Happy to see you again. Now I understand why the Prince was insistent. He'll want to see you as soon as possible.
The Prince?
Dandolo. He rules our city. If I were you, I wouldn't keep him waiting. He loses patience quickly. There's nothing like fresh news for him to be on pins and needles. But don't worry. He's a charming man. And he loves Nisha.
Very well. I'll go see him. Hey, I saw you in the mutant pen in Ophir. How did you...
Let's just say that I'm not a permanent resident of the pen, even if I go there sometimes to help my brothers out. I'll let you go off and see the prince, but I'd like a word with you later. I'll be next to the sand sails.
All right, I'll drop by. Wait a... Your name's Andrew, isn't it? We went to the academy together. But didn't we... I overheard you talking to Master Connor after I brought him to meet you.
I guess you overheard. Very well. Come find me once you've met with the prince. We'll talk about it. Go now. Don't keep him waiting. Hey, there you are. Your meeting go well.
As well as hoped. Thanks.
Then let's get down to business. You know who I am. You know my past. You know what little I have left. What are you gonna do about it now is the question. You gonna use what you can against me, or let me carry on with the small life I've managed to build?
What happened that day?
I had a surge. A big one. One even the Masters never saw coming, literally. Before they even knew what was happening, I electrified everyone and everything around me. It screamed like thunder from my body, before the ceiling itself finally collapsed in on me. I woke up in the infirmary without an arm, surrounded by all those powerful masters who stood there shaken, whispering, their eyes still filled with fear. And everything went dark again, and I woke up in a sand sail.
Why aren't you with your family?
Right, my family. They were small-time merchants. I'm sure real proud their son was gifted with Technomancy and was joining the school. But they were also scared as shit of me for the same reason. We're all scared of what we don't understand. It's why so many fear us both. Not that I'm sure any of the masters even asked them to take me back. It was more important to them that I disappear for good, to hide what happened, keep the illusion of their infallibility intact. Also, to hide the fact they had people among them who had the power to take down entire buildings. No, I had to go. In some ways, they even did me a favor.
And you never tried to reconnect with them? Even after you got free?
No, I looked for him. Even tracked down my father. He was just this old man. Didn't even recognize me. And if he did, he'd probably just hate me for what I've become. A crippled outcast, not something you'd put your pride in. So I let it lie, just walked away.
What about your gift? I thought people died if they didn't use their fluid.
It's a myth. There are rogue technomancers out there. Not a lot, but a few. They know how to control their fluid surges. Probably the only thing that piece of shit Marcelo could take credit for. He introduced me to one of those guys, and after that, I learned to control it the hard way. The irony, no? I'll never be a Technomancer now, but I control the fluid better than any of Abundance's masters. Not for power, just to make sure my own brain doesn't fry.
What have you been up to since you left?
What have I done? Well, after spending 10 years of my life as a slave trying to pay that piece of shit Marcelo back for what he called my debts, traveled in his luggage hold, did his dirty jobs, whatever he needed to get his business going. Carried crates, drove sand sails, shoveled sand, ran errands, but mostly, I just picked his customers' pockets. I traveled a lot, though, if I'm going to find any silver lining in it, and have earned my damn place here in Noctis. Even if the price of that has been rarely sleeping in a real bed or reading a book that wasn't about accounting.
Should have remembered you. Back when we were kids, the world just revolved around you.
Really? How so?
You were quite the charmer. Everyone gravitated to you. Made me feel like I didn't even exist. I was just one of the many kids who dreamed of being your friend. Remember the feeling more than anything else.
Funny you remember that. Yeah, we were both kind of... Neither one of us really fit in. We were just outsiders in different ways. I tried to do too much, tried to make up for being different. You were just always yourself. You must have felt so alone, but you never made friends just to fill the loneliness. Never thought I'd see you again, Zachariah. Let alone ever have this conversation with you. I'm happy to have found you. Again. Even if it comes with all those bad memories.
I want to help you. What can I do?
Some things can't be healed, Rogue. Like that scar across your face. I'm guessing you got it the day I lost everything. And was reduced to a sad, broken, armless shadow of what I might have been.
Some things can't be healed, but most can be mended, friend. Let me ask around. It might be a long shot, but maybe you'll find a new reason to call yourself lucky again. We'll find someone who can lead you back to your gifts. I promise.
I may be bitter, but I'm no less grateful. Thank you, Zachariah. A little show of kindness goes a long way.
Oh, Scott. Success?
Of course. These kits are rather easy to adapt to a prosthesis, and it's given me ideas. You see, we could produce prostheses with an electrical transmission system even for non-technomancers. We would just have to...
May I?
Here.
I'd prefer if all those people weren't around.
Let's go to a quiet place.
you bought it? Don't worry, I've already messed you up enough.
You got me.
You know, not using Technomancy requires even more control, mastery. I'd completely forgotten this feeling of relaxation, peace.
Welcome back to your people, Andrew.
Thank you very much to both of you. It's so strange. I feel like I'm a new man.
You're welcome, my boy. Have fun.
Hey,
Hey, back.
I'm really happy you're here. With us. With me.
I'm happy too. Without you, I'd just be a poor broken man, lonely and jaded, wasting his life.
It's crazy that's how you see yourself. I'd have never imagined. I remember that time we had to spar against Alan, one of his tough guy asshole sidekicks.
Weren't so tough after we finished with them, were they? You talk about how good I was like you weren't gifted too. Alan never did forgive us for that. Thought that anger was gonna kill him for a while there.
Instead, it just seemed to keep him going. And he got his revenge. You remember that? Scott even had to come take care of me.
I remember Scott seeing you, but I thought it was because you'd gotten sick.
Sick from the beating I got, maybe, after Alan and his fellow pricks cornered me in one of the halls and broke 2 of my ribs.
If I'd have known that, Alan might not be walking around today. Wish I could have protected you. Won't make that same mistake again. I want to be like your shadow.
I'd be happy to be in your shadow.
This is the famous Dome in the Sands. What do you hope to find here, Zach? You never did tell me what you were hoping to find in these ruins.
I made a promise, a vow as a Technomancer, that I'd find a way to contact Earth. So finding a beacon would mean... everything.
Hell of a vow, Zach. Usually I only make promises I know I can keep. But I admire the persistence in the impossible. Though I'm not sure there's a beacon here, this dome doesn't look particularly important.
So you hope to find traces in there? Clues on the next step to communicate with Earth? Incredible. It's definitely a long shot, but one worth taking.
If we find evidence of the scientific base of the Great Master's tablet mentioned, I think we can make contact with Earth. And if not me, another Technomancer someday will.
Even so, it's a dream. Equal parts fascinating and disturbing. Do you really think they still want us? Especially since, after all this time, they've never once made contact?
I wouldn't know, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
And there we go. Set for another round. Do you think one day we may get to settle down?
I don't know. Is that a problem?
Not at all. I'm used to it, and it's one of the rare things I appreciate about merchant life. I wasn't made to just sit around. If you have a minute, can we talk?
What's this about?
Thanks to you and Scott, I got my abilities back. Doesn't make me a Technomancer, though, does it? Doesn't make me one of you. And I know you all go through a lot of training together, which I never had. Everything I know was picked up from an old renegade Technomancer who showed me some of the basics. Had to trade it for a little serum. But I'm tired of being on the outside. I just want to belong. If you, I guess, think I'm worthy or whatever.
You're right, Andrew. Maybe it is time to initiate you.
How painful is it?
Guess you'll see. He obviously can't use the old sight anymore, so you'll need some imagination. We can give it a go. Come on.
Why do you bring me here?
My master brought me to a dome like this when I became a Technomancer. It was full of relics, collected by generations of Technomancers from Abundance. There were old consoles there that would allow me to listen to the old recordings, discussions, musings of the settlers, and a little view of their life. The dome doesn't exist anymore. There's not much left of what we used to be. But I want that knowledge to last, so I want to tell you what I learned from my master Sean, before a mantis destroyed all the knowledge that was there.
All right. What was your master like?
He was quiet and kept to himself, but over time we still managed to grow close. He hated how Technomancers were treated in abundance, dreamed of freedom. He seemed calm, cool and collected, but on the inside, he was all rebel. He couldn't stand taking orders, which never goes down well.
Miss him?
No matter how many times you're told, or how well you know that one day you're going to be separated from your parents or masters, it never makes it easier when it finally happens. And it's only harder when you have no one else to really guide you. Technomancers are my family, but Sean was like my father.
It was probably hard for him too. I had a feeling I would have liked him if I'd ever had the chance to know him.
There was a pitch-black circular room with a console in the middle. When I started it up, flickering bluish images appeared. A doctor examining a man. The man had apparently undergone a mutation that allowed him to generate a massive electrical charge. He was the first Technomancer, Andrew.
So you're saying you and I are...
Afflicted with a specific mutation that the settlers were studying. It's why they created our gear. You, who has witnessed the secret with your own eyes, who, in your heart, knows the knowledge that he bears is true, and has understood that this knowledge could cast our kind into an endless pit of despair. As you drink the sap of the world, the water that feeds our lives, abandon who you thought you were, and now become our brother, Andrew Mancer. Together, we've shared the water and secret. Now, swear to forever protect the knowledge of the Earth, and dedicate your life to finding it again, to defend and protect our secret, even if you must sacrifice your life to do so.
I swear I will.
Then, welcome, brother.
I want to thank you, Zach. I'm still trying to come to terms with some thoughts and feelings about what we found in the dome together. What we've found together. All of it. I never felt so close to anyone. No one's ever given me this much before. I guess what I'm saying is, and I don't want to say something that's gonna, whatever, but it made me realize you mean more to me than a friendship. More than... You've become someone I want to be like. No. Someone I want to be with.
It's not gonna whatever me, Andrew. I feel exactly the same way. The same. Next time we're on break, come meet me in my bedroom. If you want.
I do. And I will. You alone?
Not anymore.
Zach, being this close, going through this journey together, I don't want it to stop. Ever.
Me too. I get it. I've been alone for so long, I never thought I would have someone enter my life. Someone I would feel so close to. There's no reason why it should stop. Not ever.